let me create new class wherein we will start with adding the array list and then how to iterate them. So let's name it as ARR list 1. Okay, and this time I will use generics, as in I will let you know what is generics actually. So what I am doing, I am creating the object of list. Array list. Okay, so this is how I am creating the object of array list, right? And here I am using generics. Generics as in this case, I can only add the string type of values. I have mentioned string here. I have mentioned string here. So in this case, I can only add string types of value in array list. Okay. So L dot add. Let's say Nitin. L dot add. Let's say Disha. L dot add. Let's say L dot add. Let's say Ravi. L dot add. Let's say Vishal. Okay, let's say I am having 5 objects now. Okay, now the first way is to iterate this array list using our normal for loop. Okay, so by with the help of using normal for loop, I can iterate this array list. So let me use normal for loop here. Okay, and why we have used generics here. We now in this list we cannot add any other value, as in any other data type. So if I try to add 30 here, it will give you an error. It will say that you is not applicable for this type of list. So the method add int string in the type list is not applicable for argument int. Okay, so that is the reason we have kept it string here. Now first way of traversing this is using normal for loop. So my for loop will start from int I equal to 0, right? So it's an index based storing, right? And list. So my loop will start from 0, I less than L dot size followed by I plus plus. See, so and see, so what I have to do? L dot what? L dot what? If I need to take the data from list, what?
L dot get index.
Get index, right? That is index I. Yeah. So it will give me the it will iterate the list and it will give the item one by one. So let me try running this, and we will see Nitin, Disha, Sitara, Ravi, Vishal, that every time value of I is increased by 1, it is taking the value from list. So this is the one way of iterating the list. Other way is using enhanced for loop or for each loop. So what is the syntax for that? What I have to do, guys?
Yeah, so for this, for string s2 colon the one which we have defined
L. Okay. Then in CISO, what I have to do?
Then CISO s2 dot. Yeah, CISO s2. That's it. No, it is fine.
S2 only, right?
Yeah. Because all the elements will be placed from L to S2.
Right. So Tari, you are getting it, right? How we are doing that?
No, bit confused. So we are storing, no, we are getting the elements, like each element first would be Nitin, that will be stored into S2,
Correct.
and then that will be printed again.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so here you don't have to specify size or anything. So how many elements we have in the array list, those will be picked one by one and those will be printed. So it will enhance for loop will run automatically for the specified as in for the available number of elements in the list. So you don't have to define any size or anything here. Here we are checking the size and then we are comparing it with the I and all, right? So that is not required in case of enhanced for loop. Okay, let me run this. And what we are getting the same output: Nitin, Disha, Sitara, Ravi, Vishal. Okay. So this is another way of iterating list or iterating collection as in. So you can iterate set, list, queue, everything with enhanced for loop. Now next is using,
Nitin,
yeah,
which is the most recommended one? So if we are like automating or during the interviews, which is the preferred one? Normal for loop or
no, enhanced for loop is preferred one because this is easy to use, right? I
easy
mean
to use? Yeah.
syntax is easy, right?
Mhm.
And you don't have to check the size all. So it will automatically run for the already available elements.
Okay.
Okay. Next one is using Iterator. Okay, so for Iterator, uh, so for using Iterator, what we have to do, we have to use like L dot Iterator. We have to put Iterator on the list object, and that we have to store in uh, Iterator type. Iterator it equal to L dot Iterator. So Iterator is an interface in Java, and we have to uh, use like L dot Iterator. Okay, and that we have to store in Iterator type object. Okay, and with the help of this, what we do, we check if it is having next element. So for that we will use one while loop, while it dot has next, then we will print next element. So it dot next. Okay, I'll let you know how it is working actually. So in Iterator we have two methods. The first method is called has next, and the second method is next, and we have one more method is also there, that is remove. So what has next method does is it checks if any element is there in list or not, or in collection or not. If it is there, then it will return true. If it is not there, then it will return false. If there is no element in the list or collection, then it will return false. And next element will print the element itself. Print the element itself. And remove will remove the item from the remove the element from the list. Okay. So here what I am doing, I am checking if it dot has next is true. If there are any more item or any more element in the list, then it will return true. If that is true, then it will print the next element as in the first element. Now cursor will move to the next element, then it will check if it is having the next element in list or not. If that is true, then next element would be printed. Likewise, I will traverse my list. Okay, so let's run it and check. It is working fine. Yeah, so we are getting Nitin, Disha, Satara, Ravi, Vishal. You're getting it right, guys? How it is working?
it.hasNext gives us if there is element on if there is an element, it will return true, right?
Yeah, it
And
will return true.
it.next gives the value.
Gives the value. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Okay. So if you check the description here, it returns true if the iteration has more element. Returns true if the next would return an element rather than throwing an exception, and next would return the next element in the iteration itself. Okay. So they do ask in interview what is the difference between has next and next. Okay, and one more item is one more method is there, that is list iterator. Okay, so what is the difference between iterator and list iterator is iterator can traverse only in forward direction, and list iterator can traverse in both reverse and forward direction. So we have, instead of 3 methods here, we have 5 methods here. So it has previous, then has next, then next, and then remove. Okay, so has previous will check if there are any previous items, and previous will print that item. Has next will check if there are any next item in the list iterator, and then it will return true if items are available, and next will print the item, and remove usually removes the item. Not sure why it is not working here. So it returns true or false. Next item, previous item in the list. The list returns true or false. And then next item in the list, and it removes the element from list. Okay, so so there are basically two differences between iterator and list iterator. First is iterator traverse only in forward direction. However, list iterator traverse only can traverse in both reverse, and iterator can traverse both in reverse and forward direction. And second is iterator is applicable, or iterator can be used to iterate all collection classes. Iterator can be used to iterate all collection classes. So this is a universal iterator, we can say. So this is a universal iterator. However, list iterator works only on list interface, or as in the classes which implement list interface. And list iterator can only be used in the list interface. List interface or classes which implements list interface. Okay, so most preferred ones are for each loop and iterator. Getting my point, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and the last one, as in cursor, is enumeration, which we use only for legacy classes. As in, we have some legacy classes in collection framework, like vector is a legacy class. So we will not go in that detail. It just collection enumeration is also having two methods. has more elements, and then elements, I think element or just next element. So this is least frequently used iterator. So for just for the knowledge point of view, you can just make a note of enumeration. It is mostly used with the legacy classes, and it has two methods. Has more element will return true if there are more element in the uh, list list or set or any legacy class, and next element will return the element itself. All right. So with that, I think iterator part is done.